Thinking about moving to Belgium in 2026? Let me be honest with you. Belgium, and especially Brussels, is not cheap. But it is also not completely out of reach if you plan your budget properly. In this video, I will break down a realistic monthly budget for a single person living in Brussels in 2026. I will talk about rent, utilities, groceries, transport, going out, and all the small things that quietly eat your money. By the end, you will have a clear idea if Belgium actually fits your budget or not. Hey, I am the creator of BXlog, and I live in Brussels. On this channel, I make honest videos about life and travel in Belgium and the Benelux region. If you are planning to move here in 2026, or you are already here and wondering where all your money is going every month, this video is for you. The numbers I use are based on my own experience in Brussels, plus recent cost of living data and forecasts for 2025 and 2026. Different websites and official sources say that a single person in Brussels spends around 2,000 to 2,100 euro per month, including rent, depending on lifestyle. I'm going to stay inside that realistic range and build a budget that makes sense for most people. One more important thing before we start. This budget is for a single person living in Brussels, renting their own small apartment, not a luxury flat, not a disaster. No kids, no car, and a normal social life. You go out sometimes. You are not in monk mode, but you are also not partying 5 nights a week. If your situation is very different, for example, if you have a family, a car, or you share a flat, your numbers will change, but the structure of this budget will still help you think clearly about your own situation. Let's start with housing, because that is where most of your money will go. Rent in Brussels has been rising for the last few years. Recent data shows that the average asking rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Brussels is now around 1,100 euros per month. In many central or popular areas, it can be a bit higher. If you are looking at a nicer building or a very good location, you can easily see prices closer to 1,200 brusselstimes.com +1. To keep things realistic, I will work with a one-bedroom apartment in Brussels for around 1,150 euro per month. If you decide to live in a studio or share a flat, you can go lower. If you want more space or a very trendy area, you will probably pay more. So, for rent, we start our month at 1,150 euro. Rent is only the beginning. On top of that, you need to pay for utilities and internet. For a small apartment in Brussels, a reasonable estimate for electricity, heating, and water together is around 150 euro per month if you are not wasting energy like crazy and your place is not a huge old house. Internet for a decent connection usually costs around 50 euro per month, so I am going to use 150 euro for utilities and 50 euro for internet. That makes 200 euro on top of your rent. Now our running total is rent, 1,150 euro, plus utilities and internet, 200 euro. That brings us to 1,350 euro per month so far. Next, let's talk very quickly about health insurance and taxes. In Belgium, a lot of your social charges and health contributions are taken directly from your gross salary. That means in this video, I focus on what you spend from your net income, the money that actually lands in your bank account. Even with that, most people pay something each month to their health insurance fund, the Mutualité. For many people, this ends up around 20 to 40 euro per month, depending on the plan. To keep the math simple, I will use 30 euro per month for health insurance. So we add 30 euro to the budget. Our running total is now 1,350 plus 30, which is 1,380 euro per month. Now we move to groceries, the food you buy and cook at home. Different sources say that a single person in Belgium spends around 230 to 250 euro per month on groceries, and Brussels is slightly above the national average. If you cook at home, shop in supermarkets like Lidl, Aldi, or Colruyt, and you are not buying premium products all the time, A realistic range for 2026 is around 260 to 300 euro per month. For this video, I will take the middle and assume 280 euros per month for groceries.
Add that to our running total. 1,380 plus 280 becomes 1,660 euro per month. So, with just rent, basic bills, health insurance, and groceries, we are already at around 1,660 euro per month. Now let's look at eating out, coffee, and drinks, because this is where budgets quietly explode if you do not pay attention. Right now in Brussels, a cheap meal in a restaurant is roughly 20 euro. A normal mid-range dinner for two can easily be 75 to 80 euro. A coffee is around 3 to 4 euro. A beer in a bar is often 4 to 6 euro. None of that sounds insane on its own, but it adds up very fast when you do it often. Let's build a realistic, normal life pattern. Imagine you grab a coffee outside a few times per week. You eat out 3 or 4 times a month. Maybe you go for some drinks or a night out a couple of times. For many people in Brussels, that easily lands around 200 euro per month on eating out and going out. If you are very social or you like restaurants, it can be 300 or even 400. If you almost never go out, you can push it down to 100 or less. In this realistic middle scenario, I will use 200 euro per month for eating out, coffee, and drinks. So, we add 200 euro. Our running total becomes 1,660 plus 200, which is 1,860 euro per month. Next is transport. If you do not have a car and you rely on public transport inside Brussels, this part is actually not too bad. A monthly pass for the STIB network is now 55 euro per month for adults after the recent price increase. That covers unlimited travel in Brussels on metro, tram, and bus. So, for public transport, I will use 55 euro per month. Our running total now is 1,860 plus 55, which is 1,915 euro. If you own a car, your transport costs can easily double with fuel, insurance, parking, and maintenance. That is why I am not including a car in this realistic but not rich scenario. Now let's talk about lifestyle and all the small recurring things that people always forget in their budget. This includes a gym membership or some kind of sport, digital subscriptions like Netflix, Spotify, YouTube Premium, cloud storage, and all the random small expenses that happen every month. Things like pharmacy, a t-shirt, a taxi, a birthday gift, a takeaway, or a spontaneous drink after work. Let's say you pay around 35 euro per month for the gym, maybe another 25 euro for digital subscriptions. That is already 60 euro. On top of that, it is very easy to hit 140 euro of random small expenses without even noticing. Put all of that together, and you are at around 200 euro per month for lifestyle and miscellaneous costs. So, we add 200 euro to the budget. Our running total becomes 1,915 plus 200, which is 2,115 euro per month. If you round that a little bit, you can say that a realistic monthly budget for a single person in Brussels in 2026 is around 2,100 euro. This number lines up quite well with external estimates. Some sources show around 2,020 euro per month, others around 2,100. So we are not making up fantasy numbers. We are sitting in the middle of what people actually report spending. Now the big question. How much do you really need to move here and not be miserable? Let me give you 3 levels for Brussels in 2026, based on these numbers and on inflation forecasts that show price growth slowing down to around 2% per year by 2026. The first level is survival mode. Survival mode in Brussels is around 1,500 to 1,600 euro net per month. In survival mode, you probably share a flat or rent a single room. You cook almost everything at home.
You rarely go out. You do not really travel. You might not be saving anything. Life is possible, but you will feel pressure every single month. One unexpected bill, and you are in trouble. The second level is what I would call living normally. Living normally in Brussels in 2026 is somewhere around 1,900 to 2,200 euro net per month. At this level, you can rent a small studio or a modest one-bedroom, or a nice room in a shared apartment. You can go out sometimes. You can take small trips inside Belgium, or maybe to nearby countries if you plan well. You can buy decent food, and if you are careful, you can save a bit of money each month.
The third level is comfortable. Comfortable in Brussels starts around 2,400 euro net per month and above. At this level, you can rent your own decent one-bedroom without constant anxiety every time a bill appears. You can eat out, travel a bit, build an emergency fund or savings, and you do not have to think about every single coffee or drink. You still need to pay attention, but money is no longer the only thing on your mind. So, if you are planning to move to Brussels in 2026, my honest recommendation is this. Do not plan your move around a net income much lower than 2,000 euro per month, unless you are ready to share a flat and live quite simply. If you want your own place and a normal social life, something around 2,100 to 2,300 euro net per month will feel much more realistic. Compared to cities like London or Paris, Brussels can still be a bit cheaper, but it is not a cheap European dream. It is a solid, medium-expensive capital city with a decent quality of life and public services, and a cost of living that will punish you if you do not plan ahead. If your net salary clearly covers a budget around 2,000 euro per month or more, Belgium can offer you a stable and comfortable life in 2026. If you are far below that, you either need to lower your expectations, share accommodation, or consider a different city or country. If you found this helpful and you are seriously thinking about moving to Belgium, watch my video about the biggest shocks and mistakes people make when they move to Brussels. In that video, I talk about the emotional side and the traps you do not see in the numbers. And if you want more honest videos about life and travel in Belgium and the Benelux, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.